What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got some frisbees from our friends over at Discmania. Shout out to them once again for hooking it up. Let's get right into it. So we got two last Howls, the Colt Montgomery last signature PD. We got the S-Line Swirl. These come out Wednesday the 17th. These things, so I've actually thrown all these discs. I took them out for a little casual round the other day just to test them out, because I feel like a lot of times when you film a disc review, if it's just your first impressions, that can be good, but sometimes if you only throw them a few times, you might not actually be getting an accurate read on what the disc is going to do. These quickly becoming one of my favorites. This one actually already made the bag. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. We got the European Open MD4. These also a very solid disc, but they do overlap something that I already bag. Everybody and their fucking grandmother decided to drive their Mustang through Frank Lisk Park today. I was about to throw hole 15 here, 345, little warm-up hole. Fits pretty much all the flights of these. But the Brady bunch over here decided to hang up their hammock. We got the Nordic Phenom 3. A little late to the party with these, but these will be fun. We got two of the new Kyle Klein Vanguards. I've actually already tested these out in a video from a couple weeks ago, but we'll give them a second look. Walking back to the van right now because I realized I forgot the star of the show. Ooh, the function.
There's 3 keys to disc golf: driving, approaching, and putting. You need all 3 to do this disc sport.
So the Forged Function is actually the disc I thought I would absolutely hate when they first came out. I wasn't the biggest fan of how they feel. I'm usually not a fan of discs that are clearly understable. The molding of them, you know, the wing shape, the droopiness of the shoulder, I've never enjoyed. But I actually brought this thing out to Bradford the other day and was throwing some super fun lines with it. You might have saw them on my Instagram. I'll throw those up on the screen. So the Function is one of those discs that actually really surprised me. For my arm speed, I feel like it's not necessarily one of those discs that really fits for practical shots, but for super fun, maybe get out of trouble style shots, it doesn't get much better. All right, guys, so we're starting on hole 2, 282 wide open. The MD4 plays pretty much perfect here. I'm gonna hit these on just a flex backhand and then kind of watch them fall back towards the basket. Not a ton of flex there, but still a really nice flight. I was probably about 20 feet short. I'll try and hit this one a little harder, a little more flex. Yeah, that's money. So right away, you kind of heard me say the MD4 flies great. It's a great disc. I actually was just in the shop today comparing the profile to the Innovamade MD4. Almost identical. I would say the Innovamade MD4 is just slightly lower profile. Just last week, I was actually testing out a C-Line Discmania made PD. It's one of those super stiff flat tent tops where it's like popped up in the middle, but super low flat shoulder. That thing was an absolute hog. More overstable than my Firebird. Wasn't really what I was looking for. I saw Colt Montgomery on Instagram throwing these, and they looked like a really nice flight. This profile, from someone with not a lot of PD knowledge, the perfect PD profile. The plastic is nice and stiff, but not like rock hard. Feels really good. So when I was at Bradford last week, I threw a couple flex lines with these, and it's the perfect like Gannon Burr style shot where he kind of like pulls them over. Kind of early release that, but you can still see it's got a nice, like, if that was a beefy C-Line, it would have just meat hooked out, wouldn't have got there, but that's still like 20 feet pin high. Yeah, there it is. I might go in. Oh my God. So that's kind of the disc that I was hoping this last Howl PD was gonna be, where you don't need to smack it on Annie. Like, you don't need insane turn, but if you put some Annie on it, it's gonna hold it, but it still has that consistent fade right at the end to always have a little hyzer back, because that's kind of, in my bag, a slot that I have missing. I throw the Era, I'm messing around with a super flippy Era, and then I have the Sphinx, but then between those, which are relatively just dead straight, if you put them on Annie, they're gonna hold the Annie the whole time. And then I skipped to Firebird. Now, yes, I have a super beat up Firebird that potentially is less stable than these PDs, but on backhand, which is specifically kind of what I want these PDs for, I need a little more push. I need a little bit more distance. And I think this PD, the last Howl, is gonna really fill the gap between my Firebird slot and my Era slot. So this hole is 357 feet, but it tucks over into the trees. So instead of going to the basket, we're gonna aim for this kind of smallest tree right out in the middle. It's probably 20, 30 feet past the gap. So I'm gonna say it plays somewhere right in that 370, give or take 20 feet. We got a little left to right, so I'm gonna try to release them flat. If you know my game, flat isn't always an option, but we're gonna see what we can do. We're actually gonna start with the function. Now, no promises that I throw a single good shot with this one today, but if you saw the videos that I put up earlier, just know it's capable of some super fun things. Oh! So obviously there's a little left to right there. It's gonna push it a touch. I'm gonna try a little PD flex. Yeah, see, that's that perfect stability. Oh, I literally hit the tree. It doesn't really get much better than that, guys. Last Howl, best Howl? That's all I'm saying. Really like that disc. And then we're gonna go with the Nordic Phenom 3. I'm gonna just try and smack this thing, see if I can go way past the tree that we're kind of aiming for. Oh, oh yeah. Oh. I mean, pretty easy for the, I don't know, 400-ish forehand. Just flips up good. Nothing beefy, but consistent. And then the MD4. Now, for me, another reason that this disc maybe isn't gonna make my bag, even though I really like the way that it feels and flies, is that on the forehand, it's a little too deep. For me, the Ultra, which is kind of in the same category, this has a much better feel than the MD4. But if you've been waiting for Discmania to come out with the MD4, I think they nailed this one right on the head. I was testing Innovamade MD4 last month for a few weeks, and I was throwing it, but I was throwing it right alongside with, you know, my Ultra, and I didn't see a big enough difference to bag both. But great disc right here. I think I'm gonna put a little flex on this one as well. See, and that's where, for me, because of how deep it is, you can probably see that had a lot of wobble out of the hand. I feel as though I have a pretty high level forehand, but when it comes to flicking stuff that is deep, like deeper mid-ranges, deeper putters, my skills go out the window. So a little flutter over there, you know, pushed out, didn't like burn over, but I'm gonna call that one more user error. Switch up the angle on you here. We're gonna be aiming for the same tree, throwing some backhands. We're gonna start with the MD4. I like the MD4 a lot better on a backhand. Oh yeah, that should drag right back to the tree. That is a beautiful shot. I really, really like that disc. On the backhand. Forehand, not so much, but that's just me. Vanguard, I'm gonna try and hit this one flat and actually see if I can get like a hyzer flip to flat, maybe get a little turn. Because I know these are supposed to be straight, but I feel like they haven't been for me. I don't know. It's also 95 degrees today, guys. And I feel like when discs get a little soft, they flip a little more. Oh, that was just a horrible throw. I might hit the tree still, but yeah, well, I don't know if horrible would describe that throw, because if the basket was the tree, it's parked. But it wasn't what I was trying to do with it. Last Howl, little flex. I'm gonna try and probably get this past the tree. Like I was saying, for me, the PD I think he's gonna be right in that like really high threes, maybe touching 400-foot backhand flex lines. So if this flies past the tree, that's pretty much exactly what I'm looking for. Yes. Or hit the tree but high up. Yeah, all day. Such a good disc. This new last Howl PD in the Horizon DD1s, probably two of my favorite discs to hit the market in quite some time. I'm really excited to start bagging one of these PDs and then see how it works in, because I think the more that it holds the kind of Anheuser push, but then hopefully still holds that little low speed fade, I think it's gonna be money. All right, we'll try and just hit the Nordic Phenom 3 on a little hyzer flip, and then on the next few holes, we'll try and give it some flex distance. Oof. Oh yeah. That's a missile. If you are interested in picking up any of these new Discmania molds or any other discs you may be in need of, and you want to help support me, head over to powergripusa.com, use code Broderick10. It's going to save yourself 10% off. It's going to directly support me. Also, guys, we do have some Frisbee Club stamp discs currently in the works, coming hopefully soon. No real date on them yet. Firebird, Star Firebird, Buzz SS. Nothing set in stone, just a little teaser. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have known that they're on the way. But anyways, guys, powergripusa.com, code Broderick10, save yourself 10% off. Go try some of these Frisbees. Thanks. Let's keep throwing. Hole number 8, 533. Am I gonna get it there? No. Am I gonna throw some piss missile forehands? Hopefully. We got a right to left, which for me on the forehand, I kind of like because I have such a hyzer release. I can really pump them on that hyzer, and the wind is gonna help flip them up. We're gonna just throw the Nordic Phenoms here. Oh, too high. Oh. Little high. Still a great flight. I mean, that's probably, I'll say 385, 390. Just nice forehand hyzer. We probably got like 250 feet to the basket here. I just wanted to demonstrate stock hyzer forehand with the MD4. That'll play. Yep, under the pin. The depth of these, I can keep them on a hyzer pretty good, but it's when I have to kind of throw like more of a flatter flex where I kind of shank them over. Yeah, both of those are probably a combined 7 feet away from the basket, so pretty solid. Honestly, just for fun, I'm gonna show you the PDs as well. Go in. That is also under the basket. Well, it was, and then it skipped 5 feet right, but you know. I like that. Come on. Oh, also under the basket. Well, I guess now we gotta throw the Vanguards as well and try and get these under the basket. I'm thinking I can get a combined less than 30 feet away from the basket with all of these. That's in, for sure. Oh, that's a little deep. Probably only about 7 feet. A little more push than a PD you're gonna get out of the Vanguard. Try to baby that one. Still 5 feet short, so not bad at all. European Open, forged function. Is this gonna be the one that completely throws off our 5 foot from the basket average? Come on, baby. Oh, I mean, that might be the furthest from the pin, but probably the prettiest flight. So, all right, y'all, jumped over to hole 10 here, 621 foot par 4. The reason I like this hole a lot is because you gotta hit the initial gap here and then get something that bends right, like on a backhand, and then penetrates forward, or you can throw a really nice flip up side hand. This hole, I feel like, really demonstrates the flights of these discs we have today. We're gonna go right off the bat with the function. I'm gonna try and absolutely smoke a roller. If you know me, I'm not good at rollers, so I think this could work really well. Or do I just try and throw this like as far as I can? But yeah, I'm going vertical hyzer, absolute laser missile piss bomb. Yeah. Oh my gosh, missed the tree. Oh my gosh. Oh my. I hate to officially classify myself as a noodle arm, but I think when you throw a flippy 8-speed further than your distance drivers, that automatically classifies you as a noodle arm. So the unfortunate news for me is I'm a noodle arm. The fortunate news for me is I can throw an 8-speed probably about 450 feet. So that's cool. All right, real quick, we're gonna just smack these vanguards on a flex just to kind of show you the flight characteristic. Said it once, I'll say it again. Nothing wrong with the vanguard, just not my specific hand feel that I really love in a disc. But if it feels good to you, this disc flies great. Oof. Very workable. MD4s, little turnover here. Ooh, yeah. Wow. That's beauty. That is a beautiful flight. See if we can do it again. A little more turn. I want to get to. I want to get to. It's 95 degrees, guys. Ain't got no water left. Ooh. I was trying to say I want to get to turn a little more. I don't think I did it. Threw it a little too high. Once again, though, beautiful flight. Really good stability for tight, like backhand hyzer lines. I actually feel like the last Howl and the MD4 are very, very similar in stability. They obviously just like are different speeds. Actually, I filmed 2 videos on my phone. I'll throw them up right now. Same hole, I think let's call it 320, slightly uphill. I threw the MD5 or MD4 and the lone Howl. Down tempo lone Howl, full speed MD4, and they were both parked. Ooh, yeah. Look at that thing. Oh, that's a beauty. Come on. Oof. Yeah. Exact same flight, just, I don't know, 75 feet further. Oof. Keep turning. Miss the tree. Come on. Get around it. Yeah. Money. Money. All right, y'all. Absolute max distant piss missile. Nordic Phenom 3. Like I said, 95 degrees. These things are getting a little gummy, but we'll see what we can do. Don't burn. Come out of it. Wow, that went really far. Actually, it went less far than the forged function, so really far might be an overstatement. But I don't think you could classify these Nordic Phenom 3s as like a beefy distance driver. I don't know what they say they are. I don't know what they describe the flight like. When I know I'm actually going to review a disc, I do try to avoid content to like get other opinions in my head, so I kind of just have the fresh idea. This one, we're just going to go forehand to send it on home. Oh, kind of skied it. I've been working on getting my forehand up in the air higher, but that's a little too high. It doesn't penetrate as well. But I feel like overall we got some good flights today. Kind of showed you how these discs perform. I'm a mid to high 60s mile an hour backhand thrower usually, with anywhere between 1300 1250 to 1500 spin rate on a tech disc, if that means anything to you. Sometimes for a review, I feel like that helps. Forehand, I've hit 71 and I've hit like 1100 spin on the forehand, but I'd say average is right about 900 spin on the forehand, as well as 60s, mid 60s for speed. If that means anything to you, help you with this review, let you know how they fly for you. Hope that helps, guys. Shout out Discmania, shout out Power Grip. If you want to check these out, go check them out. Thanks for watching, guys. I ain't got no disc. See you in the next one. Whew. If you know this hole, you know how far this function just went. We gotta try and get to 2. Get down. Ah. Oh. Yeah.
And right here, I have a frisbee bag. It holds all my frisbees, the ones I like.